Hey guys, welcome to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemzeski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to do a series on your first contest. And it's funny, Adam, because you and I have been doing this for so long that you just kind of skip by some of those details. And I was a little bit shocked, not shocked, but a new client of mine getting ready for his first contest started asking me questions like, "Hey, what show should I pick? What organization should I pick?" And in my mind, I thought that's why you hired me. Like I thought you had all that set up. And then I realized, a lot of people getting into the industry these days, getting information from social media, they really do put a lot of trust into a coach just to hammer out all of those details for them, almost to say like, here's exactly what we're going to do. You just follow the orders and I'll bark out the commands and we'll get this done. So when you think from that first contest experience for a client, and you are just looking at a certain organization or maybe date on the calendar, geographical location, what do you like to tell a client? What would you have told my client in that circumstance?
I usually tell them to find something close to home. It's simpler when you don't have to travel as much. Travel can be done, obviously, but I really think that takes a lot of stress off of people if they don't have to jump on a plane with everything. And, granted, you can typically always buy anything you need for the most part when you're gone. But, my first contest was 2 hours away from my house. And I that's way easier than flying for sure. So I think anything that is close and as long as the person's not too small to be in like maybe a untested show, if someone's lacking in size quite a bit, I might say let's make sure we find a natural show just so they are competitive. So I would say size might be the other determining factor. Where are we going into? Do we have a lot of muscle, or are we going to get smoked, by a lot of bigger people?
Mhm. Yep, that was actually some of my advice as well. And this particular athlete is natural, and I thought back to my first experience, my very first contest. I went into a state level NPC show, got destroyed, as you said, both because of my youth and experience and all that. But then once I found a drug free show that was tested, I went in and won my class, won the overall, and it was a whole different ballgame. Then I was like, wow, I can actually do this. And to your point about even being close, I do remember the first time I flew for a national level show. And you're exactly right, man. What a difference to actually have to pack up everything and go there. Again, a lot of us who've competed for years or decades, it's just a given. You've got your routine, you know what to do. But that is an awful lot of extra stress if it's your first time.
Yeah. I really hate driving, and I know three of my clients drove, 6 to 8 hours to compete at junior nats to avoid flying, So I think that sometimes you extend those driving ranges when you're taking all your show day stuff, all your meals with you. Sometimes it really is best to drive.
Mhm. Well, what we want to do, guys, in this series is cover a lot of the organizational details as we're discussing here, and then even get you into what does it look like? What do you experience once you get to that location? What are check-in meetings like, and what do you have to have prepared? What should you do? So one of the things before we even touch on that, Adam, I would say once you have picked out your contest, get as intimate with those details as possible. Scour the websites, print off everything you possibly can, put things on a whiteboard, if you have to start organizing like things you need to take, getting your posing suit and all that kind of thing. So I believe you said you even have kind of a checklist of things for clients to take to a contest. But even a step before that, if somebody's truly a novice at this, do you have any other things that you make sure that they're thinking about ahead of time?
I think too how much everything costs, the travel, hotel fees, things of that nature. Also, any kind of polygraphs that you may have to pay for. Also, if you are doing a natural federation, like triple check your supplements. The last thing you want to do is DHEA has been flagged for some competitors, and then they're not allowed to compete at their show. And I've never had that happen to any of mine, but I've actually been at the shows where the polygraphs are being held, and the person didn't know that they weren't allowed to take DHEA, and then they don't let them compete that day. So definitely check that WADA list pretty heavily.
Mm, awesome. All right, guys. Well, we will be back with episode 2, and we're going to talk about what happens when you actually get to the venue. See you next time.